If you wake up every single morning and reach for a plain glass of water or a cup of black coffee, thinking you are doing your body a favor, you are making a critical metabolic mistake that is accelerating your biological aging. By the time you reach the age of 60, your body is no longer the resilient machine it was in your 30s. Every single breath you take, every meal you eat, and every hour of sleep you get is a direct communication with your genetic code. And right now, most of you are sending a signal of decay, not repair. I am Dr. Robert Lee, and today I am going to show you how to prepare one specific morning drink that does something no pharmaceutical drug on earth can achieve. This isn't about hydration. This is about molecular instruction. This drink is designed to flip the master switch of your cellular machinery, activating a process that Nobel Prize-winning scientists have spent decades trying to understand: the ability to literally repair your DNA and starve the rogue cells that lead to cancer and arterial clogging. You see, your DNA is like a high-speed library of instructions for your body. At the end of every strand of DNA, there are protective caps called telomeres. Think of them like the plastic tips on the ends of your shoelaces. As you age and as you subject your body to oxidative stress and high-insulin healthy foods, these tips begin to fray. When the tips disappear, your cells can no longer divide properly. They become senescent or zombie cells. These zombie cells don't die. They sit in your tissues, secreting inflammatory poisons that clog your arteries, weaken your heart, and create the perfect environment for cancer to grow. Most seniors are told to just drink more water to stay healthy, but as we established in our protocols, plain water is no longer enough. Hydration without information is a wasted opportunity. After 60, your circulation is declining. Your nitric oxide levels have plummeted by 60% or more. This means that even if your blood is carrying nutrients, those nutrients aren't reaching the end of the hose: your brain, your eyes, and your legs. This morning drink changes the game because it focuses on the three pillars of longevity: autophagy, nitric oxide production, and telomere protection. Let's talk about the first pillar, autophagy. In 2016, Dr. Yoshinori Osumi was awarded the Nobel Prize for discovering this process. Autophagy literally means self-eating. It is your body's internal recycling program. When you activate autophagy, your cells seek out the damaged proteins, the broken mitochondria, and the zombie cells we just talked about, and they digest them for fuel. This is how you starve cancer before it even starts. Cancer cells rely on a constant supply of glucose and a high-growth environment. Autophagy is the opposite of growth. It is the cleanup crew. But here is the catch. Autophagy is shut down the moment your insulin rises. If you wake up and eat a healthy piece of toast or put sugar in your coffee, you have just fired your cleanup crew for the day. This morning drink is designed to be consumed during your fasting window to amplify the autophagy signal, allowing your body to scrub your arteries clean of the sludge while you are just beginning your day. Now let's look at what is actually inside this drink. We aren't using expensive supplements. We are using biological levers found in nature. Component 1, the nitric oxide catalyst, beetroot powder. As we have discussed in our leg strength and artery health modules, your biggest threat after 60 is stiff, narrow blood vessels. The endothelium, the lining of your arteries, needs dietary nitrates to produce nitric oxide. When you add a teaspoon of high-quality organic beetroot powder to your morning water, you are providing the raw materials to dilate your entire circulatory system. Within 30 minutes of drinking this, your blood vessels begin to relax. This doesn't just lower your blood pressure, it increases the delivery of oxygen to your DNA repair enzymes. You cannot repair your genetic code in an anaerobic, oxygen-starved environment. By opening the pipes, you are allowing the repair crew to reach the most distant neighborhoods of your body. Component 2, the vitamin C shield, fresh lemon. Many of you take vitamin C pills, but as we know, the body recognizes food-based matrices far better than isolated chemicals. The juice of half a fresh lemon provides the bioflavonoids necessary to protect the nitric oxide you just produced from being destroyed by free radicals. But there is a deeper reason for the lemon. Vitamin C is the essential cofactor for collagen synthesis. Your arteries are not just tubes. They are collagen-based structures. By pairing the beetroot's dilation with the lemon's structural support, You are literally rebuilding the steel framework of your heart and brain vessels. Moreover, the citric acid in the lemon helps to decalcify the small amounts of calcium that may be trying to settle in your soft tissues, keeping your arteries flexible instead of brittle. Component 3. The osmotic pump. Natural sea salt. I know what you have been told. Salt is bad for your heart. This is another great betrayal that is keeping seniors weak and dehydrated. Plain water, when consumed alone, can actually dilute your electrolytes and cause your cells to shrink in an attempt to maintain balance. By adding a small pinch of mineral-rich sea salt, like Celtic or Himalayan salt, to this drink, you are creating an osmotic pump. The sodium and trace minerals, like magnesium and potassium, allow the water to actually cross the cell membrane and enter the mitochondria. This is where DNA repair happens. If the water stays outside the cell, you get edema and high blood pressure. If the water enters the cell with the help of salt, you get cellular plumping and energy production. This is the difference between a grape and a raisin. We want your brain and heart cells to look like grapes. The cancer-starving mechanism. When you combine these 3 ingredients in the morning, while your insulin is at its lowest point, you are creating a metabolic state called nutrient-dense ketosis. Your healthy cells can switch to using fats and ketones for energy, but cancer cells and zombie cells are metabolically inflexible. They need sugar. By staying in this repair window with this drink, you are essentially starving the rogue elements in your body while providing your healthy DNA with the oxygen and minerals it needs to recap those telomeres. Think about your legs for a moment. Most of you feel that heaviness or unsteadiness when you first get out of bed. That is a sign of artery sluggishness. Your blood is thick, your vessels are narrow, and your DNA is sending out stress signals. When you drink this morning repair drink, you are flushing the system. You are clearing out the metabolic waste from the night before and signaling to your body, today we are in repair mode, not storage mode, but we aren't done. To truly starve cancer and unclog arteries, we must address the inflammatory clock. Your body has a circadian rhythm for inflammation. Every morning, your cortisol rises to wake you up. If you have high blood sugar during this cortisol spike, you create a cytokine storm, a burst of inflammation that damages your DNA. This drink acts as a buffer. It provides the antioxidants to neutralize that morning burst of inflammation, protecting your heart from the 7 a.m. heart attack window that is so common among seniors. To understand how this drink starves cancer and repairs DNA, we have to look at the 4th and most critical ingredient, the one that most health gurus have never even heard of. I am talking about pine bark extract, also known as pycnogenol. As I have detailed in my artery repair mechanic protocols, by the time you reach your mid-50s, your collagen loss is no longer just a surface-level cosmetic issue. It is a structural circulation crisis. The microvessels that once easily carried oxygen and DNA repair enzymes to your brain and heart have begun to stiffen and leak. Think of your circulatory system as a massive highway. Over 40 years of high insulin healthy eating, that highway has developed cracks and potholes. You can have all the repair materials in the world, but if the road is broken, the materials never reach the construction site. Pine bark extract is the artery repair mechanic. Research shows that it specifically strengthens and repairs the endothelium, the inner lining of your blood vessels. When you add a concentrated dose of these polyphenols to your morning drink, you are doing more than just hydrating. You are paving the road. Clinical studies on mature adults show that consistent use of pine bark extract can improve skin elasticity by 44%, and more importantly, reduce arterial stiffness by over 30%. When your arteries are flexible, your heart doesn't have to work as hard, and your blood pressure stabilizes naturally. This creates the quiet environment your DNA needs to perform its nightly repairs. But the real secret to starving cancer lies in a biological process called angiogenesis. Every single person watching this video has microscopic dormant cancer cells inside their body right now. This is a normal part of being human. Under normal conditions, your immune system identifies these rogue cells and eliminates them. However, cancer cells are intelligent. They want to grow. And to grow, they need a blood supply. They send out chemical signals to hijack your circulatory system, forcing your body to grow new, leaky blood vessels directly to the tumor. This is how cancer feeds. The polyphenols in this morning drink specifically those from the beetroot and the pine bark, act as natural angiogenesis inhibitors. They don't hurt your healthy blood vessels, but they cut the fuel lines to the rogue cells. They normalize your blood vessel growth. When a tumor can't grow its own private highway, it can't grow. It stays microscopic and dormant. You are literally starving it of the resources it needs to become a threat. Now let's talk about the DNA repair switch, NRF2. Inside every one of your cells, there is a master protein called NRF2. Think of it as the general of your internal defense forces. When NRF2 is activated, it travels into the nucleus of your cell, finds your DNA, and switches on over 200 genes related to antioxidant production, detoxification, and DNA repair. This general is usually asleep in seniors because our bodies are overwhelmed by the healthy food rot we discussed earlier. The specific combination of the lemon's citrus flavonoids and the beet's betalains creates a healthy stress signal called hormesis. This signal wakes up the general. Within minutes of consuming this morning drink, NRF2 is triggered. Your cells begin producing their own internal super antioxidants, like glutathione and superoxide dismutase. These are 1,000 times more powerful than any vitamin pill you can buy. They move along your DNA strands, snipping out the damaged segments caused by environmental toxins and sugar, and replacing them with fresh, healthy code. This is how you repair DNA in real time. You are not adding a supplement. You are activating a dormant biological program that has been waiting for the right signal. But why must this happen in the morning? Your body follows a strict circadian metabolic rhythm. As the sun rises, your body releases a surge of cortisol to wake you up. This cortisol surge naturally increases your blood sugar to provide energy for the day. If you wake up and immediately eat a high-carb, healthy breakfast, you are stacking a sugar spike on top of a cortisol spike. This creates a metabolic fire that causes massive DNA damage first thing in the morning. By drinking this morning repair drink instead of eating, you are buffering the cortisol spike. You are providing the minerals and antioxidants to neutralize the metabolic fire before it can scar your arteries. More importantly, you are keeping your insulin at its lowest possible level. This is the mTOR versus AMPK battle we discussed in the longevity protocols. mTOR is the build and grow pathway. When insulin is high, mTOR is on. Growth is good for teenagers, but for seniors, constant mTOR activation leads to cancer growth and arterial clogging. AMPK is the repair and recycle pathway. It only turns on when energy intake is low. AMPK is the signal for autophagy, the cleanup crew. By using this morning drink to extend your repair window, you are keeping AMPK activated for 14, 16, or even 18 hours. This gives your body the time it needs to find those zombie cells and recycle them. You are essentially scrubbing the engine while the car is idling. Many of you ask me, Dr. Lee, what about the protein? Don't I need protein for my muscles? Yes, you do. As we established in the Sarcopenia protocols, seniors need 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein to maintain muscle mass. But timing is everything. If you eat that protein first thing in the morning, you shut down the DNA repair and the autophagy. You must pulse your nutrition. Drink the morning repair. Drink at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. Let the mechanic repair the highway. Let the general repair the DNA. Let the cleanup crew starve the cancer. Then around 11 a.m. or noon, you break your fast with your protein anchor, the eggs, the fish, or the Greek yogurt. This is how you get the best of both worlds, muscle preservation and cellular immortality. This brings us to the mitochondrial energy factor. The heaviness you feel in your legs, the fog you feel in your brain. This is not just aging, it is mitochondrial decay. Your mitochondria are the tiny batteries inside your cells. In your 20s, you had thousands of them in every cell, and they were all fused together, working as a high-powered network. After 60, your mitochondria have become fragmented. They are leaking energy and producing smoke, oxidative stress, instead of power, ATP. The sea salt and minerals in this morning drink are the electrolytes that charge the mitochondrial membrane. Without magnesium and potassium, the battery cannot hold a charge. By plumping the cell with mineralized water, you are allowing the mitochondria to refuse. You are turning the flickering lights of your cellular energy back into a steady, powerful beam. This is why patients who follow this protocol report a clear energy that doesn't come with the crash of coffee or sugar. But there is one more hidden killer we must address: homocysteine. High levels of homocysteine in the blood are a direct predictor of stroke, Alzheimer's, and heart attacks. It is a toxic amino acid that builds up when your body can't process protein correctly. To clear homocysteine, your body needs folate and B12. The leafy greens and beet powder in your morning drink are nature's richest sources of these methylation nutrients. They act like a chemical vacuum, sucking the toxic homocysteine out of your blood and converting it into healthy methionine. You are not just unclogging your arteries of fat, you are chemically detoxifying your blood so it doesn't rust your vessels from the inside out. Now, we must address the ribosomal repair mechanism. This is the third pillar of the Nobel Prize-winning science we discussed. While everyone else is talking about protein shakes, the true masters of longevity are talking about ribosomes. As Dr. Venki Ramakrishnan proved, these are the tiny protein factories inside your cells. They are responsible for taking the instructions from your DNA and actually building the repair proteins. But as you age, these factories become sluggish. They start making typos in your protein code. These typos result in misfolded proteins that accumulate in your brain as amyloid plaque and in your heart as arterial stiffening. The magnesium and zinc found in the sea salt and beetroot of your morning drink are the quality control managers for these factories. Without them, your ribosomes cannot function. By drinking this mineral-rich solution on an empty stomach, you are ensuring that your repair factories have the tools they need to build high-quality, resilient tissue instead of the junk proteins that lead to disease. But I must warn you, and this is where most of you are being greedy and short-sighted with your health, if you try to improve this drink by adding a teaspoon of honey, a splash of healthy orange juice, or even a bit of agave nectar, you have just committed metabolic suicide. The moment you add sugar, you spike your insulin. The moment you spike your insulin, the AMPK switch we discussed earlier is flipped to mTOR. The cleanup crew is fired. The DNA repair general goes back to sleep. And the cancer cells you were trying to starve are suddenly handed a feast of glucose. You cannot negotiate with your biology. You are either in repair mode or you are in growth mode. There is no middle ground. This drink must be metabolically quiet. Let's look at the vagus nerve connection. Your heart and your brain are connected by a massive nerve called the vagus nerve. As we established in our brain repair protocols, your brain does its heavy cleaning at night. When you wake up, your nervous system is shifting from the parasympathetic, rest and digest state to the sympathetic, fight or flight state. If you jump out of bed and immediately stress your system with caffeine or a heavy breakfast, you create a cortisol surge that clamps down on your arteries. This is why the morning drink is so vital. The act of slowly sipping this warm, mineralized, nitrate-rich solution sends a signal of safety to the vagus nerve. It tells your heart, the highway is open, the oxygen is flowing, you don't need to panic. This prevents the morning blood pressure spikes that lead to strokes in seniors. You are sedating the stress response while activating the repair response. Now, I am going to give you the official Dr. Robert Lee morning repair protocol. Write this down because the sequence matters just as much as the ingredients. The window. You must consume this drink within the first 60 minutes of waking. This is when your DNA repair enzymes are most receptive to signals. The base. Start with 12 to 16 ounces of warm water. Not boiling. Boiling water will destroy the delicate enzymes in the lemon. Not cold. Cold water shocks the digestive system and slows the absorption of the minerals. The activation. Squeeze the juice of half a fresh lemon into the water. If you are feeling extra sluggish, you can grate a small amount of the zest, the peel, into the drink. The oils in the peel contain limonene, which has been shown to support liver detoxification and help flush liver fat, as we discussed in our previous modules. The fuel. Add 1 teaspoon of organic, non-GMO beetroot powder. This is your nitric oxide bomb. Stir it thoroughly until the water is a deep, vibrant red. The spark. Add a generous pinch of natural sea salt. Again, look for gray or pink salt that still contains its trace minerals. The mechanic, optional but recommended, add 100 milliliters of pine bark extract, pycnogenol, if you have diagnosed arterial stiffness or high blood pressure. The consumption. Sip this drink slowly over 10 to 15 minutes. Do not chug it. Your body needs time to absorb the nitrates and minerals through the mucosal lining of your mouth and stomach. What happens next? By the 30-minute mark, your nitric oxide levels will begin to rise. You will feel a subtle warmth in your hands and feet as your microvessels open. By the 60-minute mark, your NRF2 general will be awake and your DNA repair crew will be moving through your system, fixing the frayed tips of your telomeres. By the 2-hour mark, your autophagy crew will be at its peak, identifying zombie cells and recycling them for energy. You must wait at least 2 to 3 hours after finishing this drink before you eat your first meal. This is your repair extension. Every minute you wait after the drink is an extra minute of DNA protection and cancer starvation. When you finally do eat, you follow the protein anchor rules, 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein from eggs, fish, or Greek yogurt to signal to your muscles that it is time to rebuild. This is the rhythm of longevity. Most of you have been living in a state of chronic growth, always eating, always spiking insulin, always building plaque. This morning repair drink is your reset button. It is the way you tell your body that you are no longer a victim of the healthy food marketing lies. You are now a strategist. You are working with your biology, not against it. Remember, your arteries weaken first. Your legs lose stability first. Your brain fogs over first. These are all signs that your metabolic communication is broken. This drink restores the signal. It clears the road, repairs the factories, and protects the library of your life, your DNA. But here's the hard truth. You cannot do this for one day and expect a miracle. Your DNA has been under attack for decades. You have layers of caramelized sugar on your arteries that need to be scrubbed away. This is a game of consistency. I want you to take the 14-day morning repair challenge. Drink this every single morning for 2 weeks. Do not skip a day. On day 3, you will notice the morning brain fog disappear. On day 7, you will notice your leg heaviness begin to lift. And by day 14, when you look in the mirror, you will see a brightness in your eyes and skin that hasn't been there in years. That is not a cosmetic change. That is the look of a body that is finally repairing itself from the inside out. And for those of you who are worried about your heart, stay tuned for my next video. I am going to reveal the 10-second test that you can do in your living room right now to see if your brain is aging twice as fast as it should. If you fail that test, this morning drink isn't just a suggestion. It is a life-saving requirement. You have the power to starve cancer. You have the power to repair DNA. You have the power to unclog arteries. It doesn't come from a bottle of pills. It comes from the morning drink and the discipline to follow the science. I am Dr. Robert Lee. This is the truth about your cellular health. Do not ignore the signals. Start tomorrow morning. I will be here to guide you every step of the way. Stay strong, stay flexible, and never stop repairing. I'll see you in the next video.